Good morning, everyone. I am Dr.K.Venu Gopal, professor from MBA department, as well as Associate Dean R&D from Aditya Institute of Technology and Management. I am here now to discuss business model canvas. As you know very well, the business represents a lot of things. Business is associated with a lot of activities, and how that particular activities are represented is to be learned in this particular business model canvas. And when it comes to business model canvas, what do exactly business model canvas mean? It is something like a visual chart which explains a good kind of things related to the business, related to company, and of course related to the product properties. So when it comes to a business, it is so important, and all of us know the kind of a value that is being given by any company is the core competency of that particular business. Value proposition is very, very important, and that value proposition is going to get explored with all the resources that the company does have, something like infrastructure, technology, partnerships, collaborations, resources, one side, and another side thinking about the customer, market, competitor. These two are the key areas which really determine the business model canvas. When it comes to business model canvas, which is a visual representation of value proposition and telling more about infrastructure, customers, and how these finances can be managed well in an explanatory way. If this business model canvas is shown to anyone and anyone, even the shareholders and stakeholders, customers can also be able to understand the total business and the importance of the business in the easiest manner. That is really what the business model canvas, as well as you can have a feedback, a checks where any kind of flaw or any kind of glitch is happening. So, as far as this particular business model canvas is concerned, it helps a lot in terms of designing how a product is to be designed, how a business is to be designed, how to carry the product from the production level to marketing level, and what are all the financial interlocutions and financial transactions in association with this particular process. And while designing itself, we should absolutely make it confirmed whether that particular design is associated to the customer needs or not, because they are more important. And you should take the competitors into consideration while designing. And after designing, you cannot absolutely be complacent enough. You should test it also, and test it, and it is so. It is to what extent it is much important to the business model. That is one very important thing. You are designing it, testing it, and to what extent that particular model is going to help in improving your business. When you go through this particular business model canvas, you can absolutely identify where the flaws are coming up and where the faults are really made, where the diversions are made, so that it is very, very easy to identify the complexities, and you can minimize, simplify the complexes, and any kind of the business plans that you have with a lot of complexities can be minimized through business model canvas, and gives you a good kind of clarity and good kind of communication As I told you earlier, that the mistakes can be identified. At the same time, the continuity, the transition of the process from one step to another step can be easily made, can be successfully made. Fact. Because of this particular model, everything can be explored in such an understandable way, such an explanatory way, such a connected way, where the supply chain is going to be very, very productive. So whenever you think or you do some business, businesses are done on the basis of the traditional methods and on the basis of some unorganized processes. But this business model canvas will let you follow the systems, and the businessman should have a chance to think in a systematic way, where the businesses are done with systematic thinking and systematic innovation also. Nowadays innovations are being done, but how systematically the innovation is to be accomplished, starting from problem identification to prototype. So they are all supposed to be taught in design thinking. So innovations can be done by any student or any faculty or anyone. But how systematic the innovation really is, which gives you a kind of a discipline. And in this particular business model canvas, you can identify how systematically the process or the business is taken up or it's going on. At the same time, this business model is moderately new, which was launched in 2010. It was introduced by Alexander Osterwalder as well as Views Ignore. They wrote a book and mentioned business model canvas in detail in the book entitled Business Model Generation. And from that onwards, this was implemented and followed by many corporates. Widely adopted, has become a widely adopted tool for all kind of business strategies, and all the new as well as old experienced entrepreneurs in the way of the business model with a good visualization effect. So here the focus is more on how do you showcase your business, or else how do you want to check and recheck your business through visualization, as well as the innovation part is to be highlighted. In fact, since any business for that matter should absolutely have innovation every now and then, because of the agile process is going on, the competition era. So it is very important for everyone, every businessman, to focus on this particular visualization model. Coming to the contents of this particular visualization are the easy terminologies which can be understood by all of you people. There are 9 building blocks which I would like to mention one by one in detail. The first one is the customer segmentation. As you know very well, even Mahatma Gandhi has told that the customer is the God. In terms of the business, it is absolutely true that the customer is very important, and you are supposed to give value to the customer as far as to understand his needs, his desires, demands, his affordability, his compatibility with the product that is innovated by you. These are all very important. At the same time, when you are targeting your customer alone, so you are not focusing on all the customers. You have a product which gives a kind of a value, and that value is adaptive, that value is accessible to only one certain kind of a customers itself. So that target group is very, very important. That target group is very, very important, and you should focus on that particular target group itself. So very, very important target group is to be identified first, where the segmentation is done. So when you are going to launch cosmetics products, you will have to focus more on ladies group. Even in that particular ladies group also, all the people, all the women are not able to use this, and you will have to avoid rural people. You will have to avoid uneducated people. You will have to avoid children group. You will have to avoid old people, and you will have to avoid households. Most of this particular group will not use most of the cosmetics. So this is only one example that I can tell you that the cosmetics is absolutely meant for certain kind of a segmentation related to certain properties of that particular women category, which may be educated, job holders, youth. These people are more attracted. So you should absolutely prepare such kind of customer segmentation first. You should really decide, I am preparing a product, I am producing a product, or I am producing some value, product or service, whatever it is, to whom I am producing. Who are our target customers is very, very important. So amongst the products that are made, nowadays people are going for innovation. Innovation is something newness, absolutely. Innovation is one part, and very important part is innovation is to be used by whom? Innovation is forecasted or catapulted to whom? This is very, very important. And coming to the second one, value propositions. A value is very, very important. Even any business owner should always look for his unique selling proposition. The kind of a product that he produces should absolutely have a unique proposition so that he can sell it in a better way, in a competitive manner. So everybody wants to, tries to have some unique point in his or in their businesses. It may be in the product, it may be in the promotion, it may be in the business style, it may be in the distribution style. Not all the propositions can be made by all, but one thing is pretty sure that if any kind of unique selling point or unique selling proposition is not had by any business people, cannot run the show for a long run. Why we are buying branded products unless and until they don't have any kind of unique element in their business? Why people are running after Apple? So it is the one Apple is the one phone which gives the prestige to the people, and because of its unique technology, which cannot be copied by anyone, which is not managed and what call preemptive nature means it cannot be copied by anyone. In fact, so every business one people should have a concept of the kind of a value or unique value that I am going to give along with the product should absolutely be one of the manifestations, one of the strategic, very, very important and major strategic element as far as marketing is concerned. How unique your product really is very, very important. And when it comes to the channels, the distribution. When you come across the channels, how do you surpass or how do you really go ahead with the product? Product is to be commercialized, product is to be distributed, and how do you distribute your product? Is it indirect distribution, or is it direct distribution, or is it online shopping, online distribution? So it is so important to decide how your products are distributed to the target customers. Do you have a setup? If it is a fast moving consumer goods, it has got its own setup, big setup of distribution. It contains and it starts, the products starts from manufacturer and manufacturer to big distributor, distributor to dealer, dealer to semi-dealer, wholesaler, semi-wholesaler, retailer. Then comes retailer is the last stage. Then it surpasses to the customer, final consumer. So this much of big structure is there. So as this particular structure is to reach the masses, reach the number of the people. It is to absolutely coverage the best. Universal coverage, people call it as universal coverage, means coverage and expand to the greater extent. The number of the middlemen or the channel members are increased so as the business is increased. So channel, which channel I am supposed to send my product? Which channel I am supposed to what call send my information also? That is one very important element to be considered. I am talking about the product to be surpassed. That is one. Physically distributed. That is physical distribution of a product. At the same time, when it comes to the promotion of the product, how this product is well known to the target group. Previously, the traditional methods were there. Even they are there now also. In fact, advertising, giving advertising in press, in a newspaper, in a magazine, TV, broadcasting television, on hoardings. These are all the traditional practices which are, of course, being followed by most of the people even now. But one drastic change, and agile change has come in marketing arena, and the digital marketing it is making waves like anything with the effective cost management. So it is so important to consider certain digital marketing propositions, adopt certain digital marketing strategies to promote your product to the concerned people, because digital marketing is absolutely the personalized marketing. You can identify the customer, you can identify who your customer is, and you can directly personally have a conversation with the customer, have an interaction with the customer. It's personal interaction, personalization is there, and at the same time you can motivate according to the analytics that you have had with you. Digital marketing analytics, which will help you a lot in improving the business. Every click that the customer hits is going to be known to you. You can measure it. Previously, it could not be. How many people have seen my advertisement in television could not even now be known. But if you go through the social media, there are analytics. Go through search engine, there are analytics. Go through email marketing, there are analytics. And through that particular analytics, you can understand where you really are and to what extent the promotions are to be increased further. So channels are both physical distribution as promotional channels. These two are supposed to be considered and enhanced. And fourth one, which is very important, as you know very well, CRM, customer relationship management, is one very important for any kind of business for that matter. Customer is okay, you are respecting customer, you are making the best use of customer needs, habits, interests, customer data is taken, but to what extent you are serving the customer is very important. To what extent you are maintaining you are building relationship for the sake of sales, but even afterwards, how do you continue that particular relationship is more important after sales, and the way of providing after sales service, or in the way of providing the information related to the product every now and then. This is something very, very important. So if you really maintain that continue customers relationship, that would be one of the very, very important factor as far as business model is concerned. So customer relationship is to be built first, then afterwards it should be maintained so that there is a chance of retaining customers more. Customer retentions will be increased. At the same time, if one customer is there with you for a long period of time, and absolutely he can be a loyal customer. Suppose I buy HP laptops only. Since I believe in that, since I have been using it for years, I have used this is my third HP laptop. I'm using it and I'm enjoying it. I did not get any kind of complexity, any kind of problem with this, so that I am loyal to this particular. I'm telling you as an illustration itself. And it is not ended at that. I'm buying, I will buy also tomorrow. Again, if I want to buy, I will buy HP only. At the same time, I referred a lot of people. I referred this particular brand to a lot group of people, for my students, for my colleagues, for my friends, for my business, for my relatives. I always told them that I have used it and I have enjoyed it. Simple. And for that matter, company does not give anything to me. In fact, I am loyal. I am recommending it. Then people have bought it also. So it is so important to why I have particularly referred it. I have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed the services. Whenever small complications have come, they provided the services and they replace the warranties and they really stick on to what they guarantee, and their communication is also to be there. And because of all these things, I really felt that they are maintaining good customer relationships and I have become a loyal customer to them. Likewise, you people also think about you are buying something continuously. It means that you are loyal to that, and one way or other way, you will tell the same thing to other people, or you will recommend the same product to other group of people also. So one very important thing is getting loyal customers. That is very, very important. And so that the companies will calculate CLV also, customer lifetime value, CLTV. They are going to calculate it. Means one customer is there, how long he is going to buy my product? 10 years, 20 years, since he is loyal customer to us. So for 20 years, I can calculate my business associated with that particular loyal customers. It is my equity. Whenever I want to sell some product to someone else, let us assume that the Meshwak toothpaste has sold its product to Dabur India Limited and it has sold it with all the proposition of CLTV. It tells that it has got good loyal customers who will last for years, and that proposition is also calculated and it has got good price for that. They sold it for a good price. So if you really maintain customer relationship, it is in other way for a long run going to help the business a lot. It's very important in fact in this competitive world where there is a monopolistic competition, many sellers, many buyers striving for existence, striving for sustainability should always dependent on customer. And if you meet the customer relationship management, or if you meet the maintaining relationship, absolutely you can win. Next comes the revenue streams, which are very, very important. Revenue is something related to how much do you spend, and of course, how much is the return. It is all talking about return on investment. And cost effectiveness is identified by most of the people in the recent days that the wastages are minimized, costs are minimized, so as the profits are increased. This is one way which is found by most of the business people. The profit is the increase in the profit can be optimized through reducing the cost, through reducing the waste costs. In fact, wasted costs are to be decreased. So revenue streams are something like how much do you spend on fixed, how much do you spend on working capital, how much do you spend on people, how much do you spend on infrastructure, and how much do you spend on technology. These are the major liabilities that any organization should have. So they should absolutely take every possible care of revenue streams, penny out and penny in. That should be focused. And to accomplish all these things, one should absolutely have the key resources and identify the key resources, what kind of resources that he should absolutely dependent on. Businesses are different, and different businesses have different key resources. Not all the resources are unique, or not all the resources are equal. Business organizations are different, and different business organizations have different resources, need different resources. If it is a manufacturing unit, it is absolutely dependent more on infrastructure, technology, machinery, and of course the people. Likewise, if it is a service sector, and it should be highly dependent on the people rather than the technology. Whereas services also can be well exhibited with the technology. If you really go for a hospital, you will see more of a technology rather than, in fact, I am not degrading the doctors previously. In those days, the doctor was important, more important. Now, similarly, the technology is important. You'll see the five-star, likewise, the five-star halls, five-star hospitals have come. People are watching the amenities, people are watching the facilities, and people are watching the technology associated with the medical services. Likewise, every business has got its own dependent resources, and they should absolutely procure all kind of resources time to time without having any kind of delay. It is very important. Just in time management is very important as far as the procurement of resources. If they are not in time, absolutely you will be out in time. The business will be out in time. The resources are very important. Uncompromisation. There shouldn't be any kind of compromisation. In fact, as far as resources are concerned, and you should identify what are all the key resources that the company should have. And activities, absolutely. Key activities are there. As I told you, manufacturing company has got different kind of activities, and service company that has got different kind of activities. Different businesses have got different kind of activities, and they should focus on the continuity of activities, the sustainability of activities, the contagious efforts of its better continuity. So it is so important that the activities should have some kind of supply chain, and the chain should never break. So activities are to be listed, and activities are to be continued, and activities connected are to be taken care. Because if somewhere some by some person the connectivity is lost, it is delinked, and the total process costs a lot because of that particular delinked activity. So in each and every activity, key activities should be identified, And the key activities are to be highlighted, should ever be reviewed. MBWA, management by walking around, is very very important. In the recent years we have seen a good number of accidents. It's not good accidents, it's good number of accidents are happening in the big industries only because of lack of MBWA, management by walking around, means correct supervision, maintenance, and activities flow. They should absolutely have keen insight on that so that it will be well optimized. And when it comes to key partnerships, who are the key partnerships in your business? Of course, partnerships may be the shareholders and also the stakeholders. Shareholders, of course, they are coming under the board of directors who are also the owners. Owners may be the sleeping owner or active owner, whatever it is. Partners, as far as the business and as far as the investment is concerned, is different. But taking the stakeholders also into consideration, they are also your partners. If you take the distributor, they are also earning some sort of money because of your business, and you are also earning some money because of their support. So they are one of them. And the supplier, supplier is the one who supplies the products to you and products to the business. And supplier is very very important as far as the quality of the raw material is concerned, quality of the machinery is concerned, and one should focus on that. So yes, he is also very very important. And finally, the customer is also one of the best, very important key stakeholders, which is already discussed by us as a marketing purview. But supplier, banker, transporters, investors, these are all the key partnerships that one should have. And finally, the cost structure. And the final point is what, after the product is made, of course, the costs are taken into consideration. Maybe the manufacturing cost, and it may be the costs incurred to the people, maybe the cost incurred to the distribution, the cost incurred to the storage, the cost incurred to the infrastructure, technology. Everything should be taken into consideration. That is one very important thing should be considered by every organization for that. So finally, these nine are building blocks, and you may be surprised that I have told you that it is a visual presentation or representation, and I am talking in a texted manner. So I'll go for the visual presentation now. This is exactly the visual presentation of business model canvas, and you can check the value proposition which lies in the middle point, and these three: customer relationship, market segments, and channel. Market segment and customer segment, same. Channels, these three are related to marketing. And key partners, key activities, key resources, which are vertical lasting in the left side, these three are related to the business properties. And here comes the cost structure, and here comes the revenue structures. Now we will review from key partners, from top to bottom and bottom to top. We can discuss the key partners. So as I told you, who are all the key partners? Suppliers, vendors, and the questions to be asked themselves. Each and every organization should ask themselves certain kind of questions to represent the business model canvas. When it comes to key partners, they should check who are all the key partners for them, and they should absolutely check whether they do have any kind of consulting firms. If you take that advertisement is there, every company cannot have their own advertisement agency or advertisement department. They should depend on some advertisement agency like Mudra, so on. So they do have any kind of consulting firms. Nowadays, digital marketing, everybody needs consultants. business research, everybody needs consultancy. So whether they do have any kind of consulting firms, and key resources or the capabilities provided by that particular stakeholders is very, very important. What is the contribution level of the stakeholders is very important. Likewise, the key activities if you come across, first of all, you should determine there are a lot of activities. Among them, what are the key processes and tasks which will give you or which will deliver the value proposition, which will take you to get the maximum value proposition. And it's very, very important. Selling is the instant program. Selling is an instant program. I'm telling you, selling a product is not big important, but managing is important. Managing is meant for long run. How do you develop the things? How do you develop the activities? Only for that particular instant? It's not a Diwali which comes once in a month, once in a year. The market should absolutely be agreeable to you as far as your product should be told, should be sold every now and then, continuously. So as you should adopt the long run strategy where the key activities are to be identified and should see that the key activities should flow without any kind of flaws. When it comes to key resources, who are the key resources to deliver the key activities? Activities are not done without any kind of resources. If any kind of activities should go in a smoother way, should absolutely backed by the resources. Any kind of alternative technology which will really give you a good value proposition, and the key activities are accelerated to the positive point, and you should adopt it, you should buy it, you should acquire that resource without any kind of compromise. So what kind of value that is given by that particular technology is also very, very important. So that is one very, very important thing. You should think about the resources that you are completely dependent on. You should also see whether that particular same resource is being given or being served by any agencies or consultancies or key partners. So coming to the customer relationship now, I have completed this part. I am coming to the right part, right side part, customer relationship. How we should maintain relationship with customers by talking to them continuously, to give them the updates of the product every now and then. You know, digital marketing arena or website marketing or this kind of digital marketing, in the digital marketing, social media marketing, search engine marketing, email marketing, through apps, people are getting connected to the companies to greater extent. There are two kind of services in digital marketing, web to lead and web to case. Through these two services, which is provided by CRM force from Salesforce, they are getting always getting connected to the people and maintaining good relationship with the people in the way of official only, not personal relationship. Official relationship they are having in the way of providing better services, better information, better news. So basically you will have to cover all the segments, and you should decide whether I should contact them through digital marketing or I should contact them through, if it is an agricultural product and farmers are not connected with digital marketing, and you are supposed to go to them personally and meet them and motivate them, maintain the relationship with them. So yeah, the businesses are different and the strategies are different. So you should absolutely think which idea fits the best with each segment because of the segments are different. Now coming to that same segments, market segments, what is the primary customer for you? Who are the primary customers buys your product? And why, what for your product is made? To whom your product is made is also very, very important. You are creating one product and you would like to make a product not for commercialization, is for a charity? No, it is for commercialization. It is for a segment of the people, and it should mean you should decide for whom this product or your product is made. And you should also primary customer and afterwards subsidiary customers or secondary customers are there who can also buy. But major portion or the lion's share of sales comes from the major group or the primary group of customers. So you should identify what are all the customer group or customer segmentation using our product. So I should really decide which customer segmentation is mostly using my product. That is one very important thing to be identified. So as I told you earlier, the channels, how we should connect with the customer. This is one first question we should have. How? Indirect distribution, direct distribution, online shopping. In what way the customer is to be connected or is to be contacted and the product is to be distributed. Either the product distribution or how do we have a communication with them through different traditional channels are there, digital channels are there, and how do you opt and what is your selection process of promoting your product. And you should also check the cost effectiveness of the different channels. As it is told that the digital channels nowadays is the highly cost effective. That's coming. You are able to promote your product in the least possible. It can be called as an effective cost. In fact, least possible cost means effective. Cost effectiveness is increased through digital marketing tools. This marketing techniques, strategies, not tools, strategies. Tools are used maximally by digital marketing managers. And through these particular digital marketing strategies, they are making the best out of the promotional activities. The information is reached to the segment that they need. Second one is cost is very very less comparative with the traditional channels. Third one is you can have measurement also, where you cannot have that measurement which cannot be had with the traditional marketing methods. So channels, which is very very important, and cost effectiveness of the channel is very very important. And when it comes to the cost structure, you know, you will have to spend for machinery, land, technology, which are coming under fixed cost, and you will have to pay the rents, fees, salaries, power charges. They are all coming under variable cost, working capital management. So these two are supposed to be analyzed, and these two are supposed to be reviewed every now and then. And what are all the fixed costs that will have to be changed at least 3 years, once in a 3 year, any technology, minimum viability of the technology or minimum consistency levels and all those things. We can assume that every 3 years there is a new technology that is coming and he has to change the old technology and replace with new technology. So that should be changed every 3 years and the depreciation can be calculated. But when it comes to variable cost, and it will directly come under the cost itself, and you will have to make your cost effectiveness or the reduced cost as far as variable costs are concerned. What are the main elements of operational expenses, and what are the you have some activities, key activities, and you should absolutely think about the variable expenses or operational expenses related to that particular activities, and you should also take into consideration costs involved for capex also to be considered. And when it comes to the revenue structure, so what is your primary revenue model? How do you really want to get the revenues back, the money back, ROI? And you should also see and seek for the anyways you are getting money from directly the customers, and you should also seek the secondary revenue model also. Nowadays people are making energies through waste to energy, WTE because waste is not misutilized. It is well utilized by converting the waste into energies. Most of the people are ready for that. Organizations are looking for that. At the same time, so second resources are there. Through the scrap, we can make a revenue. Through the waste, we can make a revenue. And these are all the models, business models we can see. And if you really create such a business model that you can make the secondary revenues also, that is also well optimized and well utilized. So, and we can also go through the subscription service licensing fee model, which is also one of the very, very important revenues that we can seek from. So, we are mostly this is well exhibited to you. Key partners like shaking hands, key activities, the person who is running means very, very important activities, key resources which will enlighten you, and customer relationship. You should have relationship with the customers. Customers is separated, segmented, in the channels. This all these things will give you the value proposition and cost structure, revenue streams. All these will give you a gift pack. You see in the middle, there is a gift pack, and that gift pack is nothing but what are the core problems we are trying to solve. You should give a product to you, the customers, and it should be a solution to that particular customers. Everybody, particular customers do have needs. Needs in terms of what? Need is a problem for them, and you should absolutely find out a solution for that particular problem as well as need. So as he'll be very happy. He'll really find that the product gives them the maximum possible satisfaction and excitement. So how many problems are we going to solve? Only one problem or multiple problems? How the new value will be, you are giving some value and you are giving a unique value. Every time, if you are coming up with a business, you should always seek that you should give a value where the competitors are not giving, which is not being given by any competitor. You should think like that only. That particular new value that you are giving is different to the current value, is different to the value being given by the other competitors. You should check that. So that is the reason I have told you that the value proposition being given by you is like a gift pack, is like a new thing, is like a new value. It is one unique value you are giving, which is not given by anybody else. Fine, as I told you, with that particular business model, canvas, we can get something. These are the three very important things that we should focus so that we can get into this one. There are three triangles we can observe. One is related to UX, comes out of desirability. UX means user experience, and one comes out of technology, comes out of the feasibility, and business comes out of the viability. These three are very, very important. As a businessman, you should always focus on business runs good and it should be absolutely viable. It should give you some returns, common minimum viability. People say that, right? MVP, minimum viable product. So you should absolutely right start from the ground level and see the peak level. Should be an exponential growth of any kind of a businessman. So there should be a viability as far as business is concerned. And when it comes to technology, and there should technology, see, it's not that easy as like as one changes the people, replacing the people. Once the technology is committed, you should absolutely continue it for a particular period of time. And you should be able to buy certain kind of the technology with a feasible points. So whenever you come across the new technologies, you should get updated and you should change. That feasibility your business should have. Because of the old technologies, you cannot run the show with the old technologies. Because of the technology is for the improvement of the product, for the improvement of the processes, and so as to satisfy the customer to the greater extent, delight the customer. Previously, it used to be called as the customer satisfaction. Now, it is not customer satisfaction that every business look for. It is the customer delight and in fact customer excitement. Customer satisfaction is of course the old word. Everybody does it because it since it has become old. Now people are looking for customer delight. How and customer excitement. How excited he is with the product. User experience tells that only. And desirability is to be identified and how the user is experienced with our product. This is called DFV framework, which is very, very important. And you should focus on this particular framework in association with the business model canvas. And as I told you, this is the activities. I'm going to recap. The first point comes under the marketing segments, and you can identify customer relationship, marketing segment, channels. These three come under the desirability of the customer. What is to be given to the customer? How is to be given to the customer? How to maintain the relationship with the customer? These three are very, very important. How to communicate with the customer, how to surpass the product to the customer, how to segment the customer, how to identify the needs of the customer, and how to maintain good relationship with the customer. This is what the desirability. And when it comes to the feasibility, what are all the key partners? Who are all the key partners? And what are all their roles and contributions? And majorly, you should identify the tasks and assignments or the key activities existed in the business process. And what are all the resources needed for that key activities? And are we able to acquire the resources whenever we need? And these three come under the feasibility. Feasibility is the one which is very important for business. And you should start thinking about feasibility first, then afterwards all the other things. Because of these three resources are to be identified and which will lead to generate a good value, and that value will be attracted by the customer naturally. So for the value proposition or the value creation, especially in the way of the products or services, you should take care of the right key partners, the exact operation of key activities, and frequent flow of key resources, best optimization of key resources. And when it comes to the viability, is nothing but to talk about. Even customers think whenever they buy any kind of product, they'll always think about whether my purchased item or I spent some money on an item, and whether it is cost effective or not, whether it is well utilized or not, whether the penny invested by me is well served or not, deserved to pay money or not. Likewise, you should also think minimum viability product is very, very important. Even if you go for a run, we will always think about break even point. We will go for the first activity or first financial activity or financial measurement that we will do is the break even point. Have we reached the break even point or not? Should be thought by anyone for that matter. So viability is the one which is to be identified, which is to be recognized. So these are all the BMC, right, steps, and one by one you should identify. And firstly, the marketing segments, second one, value proposition, third one, channels, And fourth one, customer relationships. Fifth one, revenue structures. Sixth one, key activities. Seventh one, key resources. And eighth one, key partners. And ninth one, cost structures. And I'll tell you one example. I'll end up this particular session with one example by taking the civil engineering form. If you are related to civil engineering, and this example is much applicable and much useful for the civil engineering students. And as far as civil engineering forms are concerned, and if you are constructing an apartment, a gated community, or a big building, you should absolutely divide the customer segmentation, what it is meant for, whom are going to stay there, what that particular building is aimed for. Is it for residential, or is it for shopping complex, commercial, or is it for government offices or bankers and all those things? For whom you are going to construct. Second one, value proposition, and you should absolutely have some sustainability. Basically, if somebody is bought, if that is bought by someone, you will have to see the longevity of that, the sustainability of that. And you should also check, every customer checks with the product quality, with the building quality, with the money that is going to be spent. Nowadays, a lot of 3BK, 2BK are coming. If it is 50 lakhs, customer will definitely see whether it is cost effective or not. That is the reason that most of the civil engineering, what call civil engineers, in fact, are using the material optimization. Different materials are experimented. There is a research R&D is being very on the fast track of using different kind of the material. Apart from the traditional material, which is very costlier, they are using the modern with the modern technology and alternative material which will give cost effectiveness as well as the quality. And channels, how do you sell that particular building? Directly or online? There is an option. And somebody takes you to the building and show the building, that is direct. And when your building is shown in such a beautiful manner with animations, with the VR applications, AR applications also, augmented reality and virtual reality applications, you can visualize through digital marketing applications. That is online marketing or digital marketing. And the customer relations you should maintain. Of course, there is a project management, and there are people who are absolutely in contact with the customer because of this particular is cost, high cost with high cost, related with high cost. Don't expect that the customer would buy on the spot itself. It will be late. They will have to procure all the financial resources to buy the product, buy the building. So you should also think in such a way that the customer for a long run relationship is important. And when it comes to the revenue streams and project, if you are a project consultant, and you will also think about the fees. When it comes to buy the product, you will directly get the money. 50 lakhs, 1 crore, gated community, if it is in Vizag, it is 3.5 crores. So you can assume or you can fix the prices there and you can go for that. Bargaining and all those things are quite common. But if you really are a consultant and I want a building plan and I have come to you and you will take consultant's fees, you will take, or else I will give you one project and you will take project fees. These are all the revenue systems that you will get as a student, as a civil engineer, in fact. And what are all the key resources to produce a construction, to produce a product? Your product is what? Building. Labor is more important. Moreover, the skilled labor and advanced machinery. These two are quite common in any field for that matter. But civil engineering people are more important. Though there have been a lot of technologies, modern technologies have come, which are helped by high technology, but people are more seen in constructions itself, in fact. not even in the factories. So, but in the constructions, we can see a lot of labor, a lot of skilled people we can see. And key activities, absolutely, once you prepare to build a construction, you should absolutely design and you should think how that construction is made. You should take it as a project and project management should be done. And partnerships, you may have subcontractors because all the things cannot be, you are making a building, you may give a subcontractor of electricity to someone else. And you should absolutely be dependent more on suppliers. There are innumerable suppliers like iron suppliers, cement suppliers are there. They are all there. And finally, the cost structure, which is also very important. Cost for the labor. You know, we always talk and debate the cost being increased for the labor. We don't worry whether the cement is increased, we can't help. We cannot bargain also. But for the labor, we always bargain. It's for the example I'm telling. But labor costs are also increased time to time. As like as everything is increases. Everything is increased. So iron cost is increased, cement cost is increased. These are all the materials that we can see. And of course, the operational costs are also increased. Nowadays, operational costs are increased to the great extent. So these are all related to, as an example, I have told that civil engineering people can make the most of this example. This is an illustration exceptionally for them. But this example, why I have taken, which is understood by all, because building is understood, construction is understood, even it is like a real estate that everybody can enter, not only the civil engineers. A lot of uneducated people also earning good money in engineering, civil engineering, in civil field, in fact, in construction field. So as I have taken this, and finally, you can go through the Canva. This one tool you can use, and you can create certain kind of business models. You can see and you can check businesses, a lot of different businesses, and you can create different key partners. That means this business model canvas through that. So thank you very much, and I am there for you to clarify all kind of doubts. Take my number 9866663988, and my mail ID is koppala71 at the rate of gmail.com. Thank you very much. Thank you all.